Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This is Last Battle for the Sega Genesis, one of the 6 launch titles for the American release of the Sega Mega Drive, which was released in America as the Sega Genesis, due to trademark issues. This is Chapter 1. We're playing as Arzak. Left and right lets him move around, A lets him punch, B lets him kick, C lets him jump. And taking care of the enemies in this very first area, pretty easy for the most part. Just be on alert for all the enemies that show up. Also, to take care of any enemies on the roof, just press C, then press B to hit him with that scissor kick. Watch the sides, watch the ground, watch the skies, and you should be seeing enemies as soon as they show up. You want to make sure you have as few enemies on screen as you can. That way you can make it to the end here in one piece. We meet Max, who wanted us to meet Alyssa. Now you have the look of a hero! I have no idea what that means. The conversation in this game is pretty short and pretty strange. But by beating that one area, we now head to the map screen. You can check your status by pressing start on the map screen to see your life, your strength, and your defense. And we're gonna go to this arena where we fight this big, huge green guy. Let him come up to you, then punch him. After about 2 punches, he'll move back and you want to duck that diving attack that he does. Once he lands on his feet again, you want to get away from him, because he's probably going to punch you as soon as he gets back on the ground. It'll take a little bit of practice to take this guy down without getting hit, but it's very easy to do once you manage to pull it off. And if you get hit, you can refill some of your life. So now when we're done with the arena, we could go to the north, but we don't have a path leading over there yet. So we're going to have to go to the stage to the east there first, and fight off more enemies along the way. Enemies here get a little more difficult. Some of them will leap out at you. Others will drop down right behind you and you have to quickly turn around and kick them. Some of them will rush out from the roof and then drop down to hit you. And some of them will also throw stuff. Thankfully, you can use your punches and kicks to deflect thrown things. And then you should be able to get a little closer and take care of them from there, whenever necessary. You don't take a lot of damage from getting hit in this game, but those hits do eventually add up. And you want to make sure you have as much health as you possibly can have as you go through this game. By getting through this area, we meet Gear, who just wants to become a hero. Now we could go elsewhere, but we are going to go back to the arena. Since we beat up that big ugly green guy, we don't have to face him again. So as soon as we go in here, we'll be kicked back out to the map screen. And from here we can finally go north, over the mountains. There are no enemies here. Instead, you will talk to this woman, who tells you that the enemy has begun to move. At last, the time has come! Defensive power is increased! We finally have some defensive power, which means we will be able to take less damage from hits that we receive from the enemy. So now it's time to head back to the arena, and all I have to do is stand there, and I'll just be kicked back to the map screen. And we're going to go down and left here to this area. I might as well go ahead and mention the heads-up display at the bottom of the screen. Life is obviously your health. Definitely don't want that to go to 0, and you definitely want to keep as much health as you can as possible. Oh, I forgot about these guys with the spears. Whenever they did that whoa sound, you want to duck down and kick them. Like so. Anyway, to the right of the life is the amount of points you've gotten, which is not really all that important. Below all that is the power meter. Once you beat up enough enemies, you'll be able to fill the power meter up to one of the white squares, which makes our hero do this. He just bursts out of his shirt and his punches and kicks become faster and more powerful. And to the right of that is the time, which is the amount of time you have left to get through the area. When we make it all the way to the end, we'll meet Alyssa, and our strength has increased. That means that our maximum health has increased, so we can have more health. From here, I'm going to go south to fight an optional boss. You don't have to fight this guy. He's pretty powerful, but he is easy to beat when you know what to do, and we can refill some of our health, hopefully. This guy has 2 attacks. These balls that he throws, as well as these fireballs that he shoots out. When you see the fireball emanating from his mouth, you want to get away from it. And try to avoid the balls, too, that he throws. It takes about 3 jump kicks, or 3 kicks of any kind to destroy this guy. And we get some of our health back when he's defeated. Sadly, I didn't do very well in that exchange, but we will be able to fill up the life even further. For now, we're going to head over to the east. When you are in a more powerful state, or shirtless, your punches and kicks change. Your standing punch becomes faster and happens over and over again. You do like a Chun-Li style lightning kick, which is kind of interesting because this game came out before Street Fighter 2. And your attacks in the air are also different. You will now have to punch enemies on roofs in the air as opposed to kicking them because, well, your kick is obviously changed to a normal jump kick. And the punch is more likely to hit them anyway. Also, because we now have a normal jump kick, if we see some guy just standing just right there, more than likely he's going to be throwing something. But if we hit him with a jump kick, we'll be able to take care of that attack. Now we could go to the ruins up and to the right, but I'm going to go straight north into this labyrinth. Labyrinths are a little different. You have as much time as you need to get through them. There aren't really any enemies. You just have the hazards that you have to deal with, and you have to deal with those hazards accordingly, like these rolling rocks, which you just duck and kick to get out of your way. There are doorways where you can fight enemies, and you walk up to them and press up. You may be able to go into a room like this one, where you can fight off as many enemies as you can. Every enemy that you fight in these rooms, which you'll only be in for a couple of seconds, will refill a little bit of your life. So you want to take down as many enemies in these rooms as you possibly can. Because all those defeated enemies will add up. And again, you want to have as much health as you possibly can at any given moment. When you drop down that hole in the floor, you want to go to the right and duck or punch out the arrows in case they ever get close to you. There is another doorway where you will be facing some enemies, and thankfully I was able to refill my health to max. And from here, we just want to keep going right, and we want to jump up these crates and up into the ceiling and to the right to get over the hole there and take on these knives that come down from the ceiling. When you hear these knives come down from the ceiling, you want to back away, then face a knife, duck down, and kick them. You have to get them out of your way in order to get past them, otherwise you'll just keep bumping into them over and over. And nobody wants that. After that first hole, we went to the left to take on more knives, and after that second hole, we went to the right, where we will be dealing with these throwing axes. They come out from one side, then they loop around to the other. They just come out from one side and then just loop back. You want to punch them in case they get in your way, and you want to drop down all the way into that hole all the way to the right there. And go down until you reach this area where you'll have to go left and avoid these ceiling spears as you go. You want to get on this box here, jump up and to the left, and keep going left. If you go right from here, you'll eventually hit a dead end, and quite possibly lose some health unnecessarily as you try to figure out where you are and get back on the right path. so you definitely want to memorize where it is that you need to go. From here, you want to leap up and to the left once you reach the boxes, and from here you will have to avoid more ceiling spears. Another hole. Let's drop down there, and from here we'll be seeing these flame jets come out of the walls. They won't hurt you unless they're completely out, so wait for them to disappear before you move, and then drop down this hole. And when you start seeing boulders come down, you want to inch your way to the left. When you see the light on the wall, you are past the boulders. Just keep going to the left, and you will be done with this labyrinth. By completing this labyrinth, you will refill your life all the way to full, regardless of how much life you have at the end of this area. And this is what your status should be by the time you make it to these ruins and you complete every area. Remember, to see your status, just press start on the map screen, and you'll see what your stats are. Now you'll have to face Sid, the first boss that we'll meet in the game. You want to hit him with jump kicks, and you want to back away immediately. You want to avoid his left jab, as well as the two other attacks that he has. One where he rears back with a glowing fist and tries to hit you with a short-range series of jabs. And this fireball here, which you'll have to jump over. When you get his health bar all the way down, you have to punch him to hit the final blow, and that can be hard. You can still die trying to do that, so you have to be very careful. For Duke, I will fight to the end! What kind of being is Duke? Well, probably not the master and ruler of the world. That was a wrestling joke, you probably didn't get it. But we have completed Chapter 1, and in the next video, we will do Chapter 2. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!